The chairman calls the meeting to order at 6:31.
Yes, ma'am.
And first is the approval of the regular minutes of April 14th. Okay, so, okay.
Did we have a quorum last month? No, we did not, right?
No, well, it was canceled last minute. Last month.
So this is,
April 8th.
These are from April.
I'm sorry, I missed that. April 8th.
oh, did I put it wrong?
Yeah. I just read from the agenda. Sorry, girl.
Oh, I think Jerry and I went back and forth on this because the meeting was the.
What does it
It's
say?
fine. You approve what you need to approve.
Why, thank you.
How are you?
No, I'll tell you later.
Where does it say Mrs.? Where is it?
Welcome, Nancy.
How's it going?
Let me park right here. Sounds good.
You begged him?
Just rubbing it in.
I say this.
Just rubbing it in.
That's what I
Would you have
use.
to park somewhere?
I use that.
Oh, yeah, I know, I
Sorry.
got that.
Yeah, apparently.
So we're reviewing the minutes of April 8th.
I make a motion to approve the minutes of April 8th.
So from Star, we have a motion to accept the minutes of April 8th. Is there a second?
There we go.
You have a second?
Yes.
All righty.
Hi.
Any discussion, corrections, or anything someone wants to say about the minutes? Hearing silence. All in favor of accepting the minutes, say aye.
I.
Any nays? Any abstentions? All right, going down. Here we go. Recognition of guests?
There are a few people online.
Oh, we do. Okay.
I didn't allow them to talk. If they wanted to talk, they can raise their hand.
Yeah, if you can hear that, for our guests online, if you do have a question or want to say something, please raise the hand. Thank you. Okay, any correspondence?
Yes.
Oh, good.
A letter from Bill Gagnon. Bill is a member of the community that has been helping the local schools out for 20 some odd years. I'm just going to read this letter from him. We wish to thank you for your continued support of our program to help public school librarians in our area via the collection of bottles and cans that have been deposited on them from the teen center. Since your facility opened in November 7th, 2004, plus donations of a number of families in town, $18,850 have been presented to the 4 public school librarians to assist students in those schools with enhanced programs. After starting this program in the town in September of 1998 and including year-end donations, $20,050 has been given to the public school librarians in the area. Thank you for your continued support of our little program. Sincerely, Bill. And it's actually called the Ernest F. Gagnon Educational Foundation. Yeah, that's Jerry, please.
Thank you.
Bill's wonderful. He helps out with our daily garbage problem anyway, so it's great. And he comes in, he's always smiling.
He's a fun guy.
Yeah.
He's a fantastic guy. Any other correspondence?
No.
Oh, we get to do the fun stuff. Let's go to review of the bills. The plants from Riggio's are those for the point?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the electrical supplies?
The electrical supplies.
That's the electrical supplies.
And you point me in the right.
Yeah, second page, second one down, 9/12/26.
I think you're talking about these. Right.
Yes.
Oh,
Those are for putting up the scoreboard.
Oh.
Trust. Yeah, conduit gets expensive.
Yes.
And the scoreboard that fast.
I make a motion to approve the bills.
But we don't have to.
We don't do that.
Don't have to?
Nope, we just have to question
Just a
anything
review.
you feel like.
Perfect.
I like the vibe though. I like.
All
Good, done.
right.
You were, yeah, you, I know why you did that.
For those online, this is the time. If you would like to make a comment or a question or anything, just raise your hand and we'll recognize you. I see none, but I'll keep an eye up there in case you have something later. Going to new business. Saybrook Point update.
All right, so, obviously, we know what happened at the point and the switching of the properties, which has not happened yet. That is due to happen in sometime in late August. We are still doing our due diligence and, which means first step is doing environmental review at the point on the Kadama property, and that's come back clean. So we're on to our next steps, which I'm not positive exactly what they all are. Carl has all those steps, but, and then John is also doing his due diligence within the preserve, within the pavilion, to see what he could do, if he can still do what he's doing. So there are still a few hurdles to jump through, but for the most part, everything seems to be moving forward in the positive direction, or a swap to happen, and paperwork to be signed sometime in August. So, yeah, that's all I have really on the point.
Say about the RFI.
That's
Yeah.
Carl's thing, so not on my hands to do that, so. Yeah.
Nancy and you helping Carl with that or?
Um, I think
Could
he
you
was
hear
trying to, yeah, he was trying to get a few people for the RFI review.
At the last, he wanted to come to the last meeting to get the commission's approval to put, Rob, Nancy and Star on the committee for that. I just want to make sure that was okay with the commission. So, and I emailed everyone after the meeting. And I really didn't get much response from that, so I don't think you need a motion, but I think it's a overall thing. You guys are okay with that, then that should be fine.
So
Yeah.
you're okay with that. That's fine. All right. Thank you
I
for
don't
that,
know.
by the way. I appreciate that.
I truthfully don't know when that's coming back and when it's gonna start either. I'm
Yeah.
assuming September, October, but I don't know.
And Town Park Ferry Road.
All right, we'll go with Ferry Road first. So that is out to bid now. Finally, went out
Alright.
to bid. So it went out to bid on Tuesday, well, yesterday, I guess. Bids are due on June 30th. We'll have a review, invitation for people that want to bid on it for informational meeting on June 23rd. So it's in the right direction. Once those bids come back, we can pick a vendor, and we'll pick a start date. So if all goes well, again, hopefully by August, we'll have something going on there and we'll have a nice new field, which is exciting.
The year before it can be played on.
Yeah, so if all goes well, perfect, we'll go in a bubble right now and everything goes well and the grass gets planted, you know, put all everything down, it's gotta get down and grass gets planted by November, we should be able to plant in the spring. But if it gets pushed back a little bit and we don't plant till the spring.
Yeah.
Probably won't play till the fall, so. Technically, it's a year, but grass seems to take a little better. Maple Avenue, we played within 6 months, so. That's ambitious, but hopefully it does come. And a lot of people do.
Weather holds out.
Yeah, no, you know, the last couple of years, December's been nice and people have been laying sod down in December, so it all really depends on. The process and what they find when they get underneath there and how hard it's gonna be to dig and put the drainage in, you know.
Yeah, that's
So-
my fear, because I've seen some of that crushed cement stuff that went in there.
It'll be an interesting process, but you never know. But,
Trust Road or Town
Town
Park,
Park?
excuse me.
The architectural review was done. Nothing was found, so that's a good thing, so that we can move forward with our process on that. And
Architectural review or?
archaeology, yes, I say it wrong, I'm
Archaeology.
sorry.
Just want it on the record,
Yeah,
correct?
Thank you. So nothing came back, which is good. So we can move forward with the rest of that.
A little worried about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it could have been.
Seems that formations out there.
So, yeah, and then we'll get more information on that and hopefully have something by late summer to concretely give to you as far as, some stuff going on there. Okay.
Well,
That's all I have on that.
Any other business, programs, facilities, past personnel?
Karen, you wanna go next?
Yeah, so we're just, everything's wrapped up for the school year as far as after school programs, T-ball finished up. And now we're just gearing up for summer camp season, so last night we had our camp staff training for that. We have a lot of new staff, but a lot of great staff that'll be a nice addition for it, so we're just getting ready to go. Numbers look pretty good at this point. The middle school looks really good. There's a lot of kids transitioning from fourth to fifth grade. So it should be a good busy summer. And then next week, adult softball will start. So we'll have our captain's meeting tomorrow night for that. And there's 10 teams playing. So yeah, that'll go throughout the whole summer.
So we don't have any problem with certification for any of the counselors or anything like that? They've all been certified?
They're
no
all
trouble with that?
CPR, yep.
Right. Right.
And I know last year, it was discussed about a quote camp nurse. We'll have 3 of our staff members that will have the training to provide any shots or provide meds, things like that, so.
Good to know.
Like a first responder training, what is that?
No, it's really a nurse, a registered nurse comes in and trains them. I'm not even sure how long the training is. Karen, I don't know if she told you.
Yeah, it's an hour-long training, so it's all on injectables. It's the same nurse that the Cape Camp uses. She was recommended, so there's.
Is that an actual certification though?
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
So it's like CPR, this is called,
Yeah.
Maybe positive name, but it's a
But there's-
state, so the state camping association, whatever.
Yeah.
They have a form that gets filled out by the nurse after they go through the training, and then they're certified to do these things. Yeah,
So we're doing that next Wednesday, the 17th.
I need a shot, Rob, you come to us.
well, no, I'm interested. For scouts and stuff like that, like I had to do CPR training when I was a scout leader.
Yeah.
I never heard this other part, but it would have been applicable because there was a lot of kids with
Yeah.
diabetic kids and stuff like that. It was,
Yeah.
parents couldn't always make the sleepovers, so.
Sure,
It's a
yeah.
nice addition to that.
Anything else? Nope, okay, going to old business, all parks review.
All right, well, since we last met, a lot has happened.
I didn't like that.
It's all good, we're into June now, so.
From rain to
Yeah,
sun.
yeah, we did have a slow start, but if we'll start at the point, obviously mini golf is up and running, full steam ahead here. After a slow start, I just thought it was a slow start, we actually had a really good month of May down there, which is amazing to me, but, it went well, so. We did survive the carnival down there, it was a really incredibly busy weekend in general down there. Parking was a bear, but we did have the police monitoring our lot, so we could have our functions still in the pavilion, which all went well, so. Course is looking good, the pump, if you played mini golf this year, you'll notice that there's no stream. The pump that powers the stream it's broken, so the parts are on order, hopefully by next week it's fixed. There's also no fireboat, fireboat sank. So,
It's funny, right?
Oh, down.
Having 2 firefighters in my family. Lord.
I had to take the fireboat out, so the fireboat was actually our circulation, it's like a pool pump. That would circulate the water and keep things, so we'll see how that goes this year, but essentially what happened, the stand that the fireboat was on, broke. And just not enough time to get it back in there with not having any water whatsoever, so we'll fix that and done for next year, so not gonna have a fireboat this summer. But other than that, mini golf still works, we don't need the fireboat for mini golf work. I'm putting a little pond fountain in there to make it look nice and all that good stuff, so that is a good thing. It's one of those summers down there right now, so. But everything's been looking great and we have some really good employees that put their heart and soul down there to make it look good, so I really appreciate what they're doing. Splash pad is fully operational. It's been going, which is good, the last couple weeks here since we got a little warmer, a lot of people out there, which has been nice. The beaches have been ghost town like on certain days. Been super cold down there and rainy for the weekends, but hopefully this weekend will be pretty good. This past weekend was all right too, but not up to really potential, but. As far as beach pass sales go, we're well over 2,200. So we're well on our way to where we usually get to, which is around 2,800 or so. Close to 3,000. So that's a good thing. But overall, parks have really been looking really nice. Little League just finished up their season. They had a great run, and we had a great relationship with them this year. And everything else is looking really good out there. Hopefully, like I talked about, Fair Road will be even better as we move forward.
The new, calling it greens, tee boxes at the disc golf course are getting incredible reviews as well, like, because it's from the beginner side. We've seen a lot more younger and like, I've seen a lot of father sons with younger kids out there.
That's nice.
It's been great. It's just, it's playing pretty perfect to what it was planned and designed for, so.
Lastly, the tennis courts will be resurfaced June 22nd through like 25th, 26th, depending on weather, obviously. So those will be shut down, and the pickleball courts will be shut down out of there as well.
I'm gonna hear about that.
They need to be resurfaced, so we'll fix the cracks in there, repaint them and all that good stuff.
You know, Carl seemed interested at one point of redoing the thing, right?
I did get a quote to redo the whole thing in post-tension concrete. It's just north of 800,000 to redo that whole thing. So,
Wow. For how many courts?
or
One court.
stuff's expensive.
You got.
Yeah.
Big old disc golf.
Stuff is expensive, so we'll
Resurface.
cross that bridge. when we get there. Yeah, to get there. Yeah. And some of our other amenities that, since the budget passed, that were in the capital improvements I'll be ordering them July 1st. It's like, I don't technically have the money, although the tennis courts is technically part of that. I schedule it with timing. We'll get those things up and running. And the new water fountains from last year just haven't. Our plumber knows about it. He's just been jammed up with a lot of other things.
But we should have them up with the heat of the summer, right?
I hope so. I mean, two of them are just switch outs.
Okay,
It's just, those should be easy. The third one, we're gonna need a war pad for, because it's brand new. It should not take that long. It's just when he's gonna do mini golf first, but that way.
most
Yeah.
used.
Get that.
And I have to admit, it's really hot that way. Anything new on Harvey's Beach?
I have nothing new.
Okay, strategic plan for park discussion?
I already talked about that.
Yeah, we have,
Town park.
Engineers. Plan for that all set.
Well, they're working on it since the archaeological thing made us stop for a little bit until that got done. So now they're back on that.
Okay. I have nothing new for our kayak rack discussion. Preserve update.
So in your packet, there's a little presentation there. So we started our recreational trails planning within the preserve. I have met Keith Coughlin from the ad hoc committee, myself have met with Martin Tarantosi with the Connecticut DEP, Kim Bradley with Connecticut DEP, and Alex Amendola with Connecticut DEP as well. So we've met 4 or 5 times, and essentially this is what we've done, right? So where we're at, and what it's just a little overview, so you kind of have a clear plan of what we're doing here. Obviously, there's a lot within the preserve. This particular piece of paper right here is a heat map of all the trails that are out in the preserve right now. There are 30 miles of trails or so, and this is the heat map of what people have been using. So we can't have all these trails. They go through a lot of places that they should not go through, so on and so forth. So we had to kind of start somewhere, and how we're gonna focus our minds of where the trail's gonna go through vernal pools to get them away from those, and important flora and fauna that we need to stay away from. So there's a lot of critical habitat that needs to be avoided, and so on and so forth. So we decided to kind of prioritize what we're doing. You see the first stage is prioritize the trails requiring reroutes, mark potential reroutes, get out there and truth all this stuff, which has not all been done yet. This is on page 3. And then on page 4, we kind of looked at the heat map, and this is the actual overlay of those trails in the heat map within the actual preserve and what the CPA areas are. The CPA, the core protected areas now, that are around each vernal pool. So of the 34 vernal pools, we've protected within 400 feet and 200 feet of the vernal pools, around 60% of the preserve. So though we want to try to avoid those areas as much as we can, it will be impossible not to have a trail through one of the CPA areas, but we're trying to avoid the most productive vernal pools for obvious reasons, right? So if you were to go to the next page on page 5, we've kind of prioritized our top 5 areas that need to be rerouted within the vernal pool areas that are most productive. So, we've kind of worked backwards. We have a Massachusetts recommendation of the core density of trails that should be in the preserve according to the amount of acreage that we have, right? Connecticut does not have a standard of trail density within the amount of acres that we have. They just don't have one. So they always use the Massachusetts one. So we're trying to work our way to what that standard is, but it's going to be nearly impossible. We decided to do it a little differently, kind of work backwards, make our trail system the way we want to do it. And if we fall, if the density falls like 30% of what it should be, then we're going to kind of go with it. If we need to lower it a little bit more, then we can consider some other trails we want to try to take out. But for right now, we know there's a lot of trails out there, a lot of people use them. We don't want to take away every single solitary trail. But we're going to kind of focus on these circled areas first.
How do they calculate the density?
It's a long calculation, Rob, that basically says the amount of acreage you have and how many trails you should have on that acreage. And it's basically like a 40% ratio around that.
Well, what's
I know,
trail?
exactly. So it's kind of gray area, but they should have so many
Just
linear
one
feet.
long one that just goes like this.
So many
One
linear
trail.
feet of trail goes with the amount of acres.
Okay, so it's linear.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It's an odd calculation that's well beyond my mathematical abilities, but Alex is on this one for the state. And we know there's a certain amount in miles we should have, whether it's, right now we have 30. And I think the number we talked about was 17 that we should get down
I was
to.
about to say, it's
Yeah,
not high.
and it's gonna be nearly impossible to get down that far.
And just for some commissioners who haven't been on the preserve committee, all these yellow lines are not the official trails that we have. It's like, we only have, 5 official trails?
Right, and that's in another map later on.
And
See it.
so you can see our concern, they're just making up trails willy-nilly all over. And we need to reduce that.
So this one, the next one is just really some reroutes with blues and reroutes, but this is not the most recent one. This was something we had done before. So if you go to the next page, you're gonna see what we actually have for trails out there. These are our actual trails that we endorse out there right now compared to what that other page was. So,
Trails we have maps for that are
Correct.
posted out
Right.
there because
correct, yeah.
you can very easily.
It's called the interim trail system, and this is what we have, but you can see the whole eastern section isn't even, there's trails in it. Where like number 1 is, there is a whole spaghetti string of trails in there that don't exist in our trails, but it goes around a vernal pool that we want to get rid of. So the very last map is a draft of the maps the trails that we're looking to put in there. There's some reroutes in there, there's some that have just been eliminated, so on and so forth. This has not been truthed at all. This is more or less, this is where we think they should go, and then we have to go out there and ground truth all of it and make sure that it does work. Some of them may need to be rerouted even more, or eliminated, so on and so forth. But, we're trying to get away from some of these trails that are out there. There's some trails that are gonna have to stay. The red trail, which is Ingham Hill Road, has to stay. It's an unimproved town road. We
It's a
can't get rid of
historic
it.
road.
It's a historic road. It's gonna be emergency access, so on and so forth. So we know that's gonna have to stay. But the unfortunate part, it actually goes by 2 of the most productive pools in the preserve. So, there may be a spot where we can reroute a little bit, but it's just the way the preserve is set up. So There's gonna be some stuff that's gonna happen, that the trails are gonna go through some areas. that we're
It's a
gonna-
road, the
Yeah.
erosion's already gonna happen
Yeah.
anyway. The
So-
compaction's already happened.
Right,
so.
exactly, so. But, this is kind of where we're at with our trail system. It's been a great start for the last month and a half, 2 months. From where we started 10 years ago, we wanted this to happen around 9.5 years ago. So this is a good start for the last 5 months to get this going in the right direction, and hopefully after this is all truthed out, by December or so, we'll have the actual recreation trails plan out there. That can be voted on and even move forward even farther, so.
The interesting thing was the use of the heat counting, so that we could by sensor of people's heat and so on, you could actually see
Like a
which trails are
satellite?
used.
How they do it?
And
It's through a trail map, not a Venza, but it's another app. It's a trail app. So people go in on their bikes and it maps where you've gone, and then it gives you a heat zone of it. So obviously the redder, the more people have used.
Yeah, I'll say the different color
Yeah.
variation.
So,
This is all user input.
Like,
yeah.
It's red, it's like.
this is actual data of how many people
we
were
had to
using
play
what
around with?
trail.
no, you can get on it. Anyone, if you know you're on.
Yeah,
you can
it's-
check
I think there's a charge for it now, but you can go in, anybody can go in and find
It's
it.
Strata.
Strata. It is
Yes,
Strata.
that's it.
It's Strata, yes, thank you. So it was some important data, and. it
That
really
was
gave
an
you idea
excellent
of where
starting
people are
point,
coming
it's
from.
really,
And
because you want your trails to be user friendly. And we also know there are gonna be some trails that are gonna be education
so this
challenge.
part over here comes in from Great Cedars East. This is our property down here.
Oh,
This is Great Cedars East. This trail right here comes in from the town park area. So people are coming from our properties in there. We're gonna need to keep these trails, which we always want to do anyway, but this just shows you where they start and they do this whole thing in there, so. Yeah,
How do you close a trail?
boy, that's a good.
A lot of debris.
Without them reopening it.
Yeah.
It's impossible, right?
It's
That's
really impossible.
Yeah.
It's,
Say that-
it's like a beaver dam that you have to keep on breaking down or building
Right,
up and they
because
break
the
it down,
path is,
build it up, break
has
it
been
down.
established.
Most ideal way is to take natural brush that's out there, put it in front of the trail, cover it.
The people that are
People
building
take it out.
trails.
We'll take it out.
Taking brush away.
Yeah, yeah, so.
Sure.
It'll definitely be interesting, and also stewardship this, getting people out there, getting education out there, is what we're doing.
This goes to a point I brought before when we were discussing bikes and that stuff out there, but. Again, if you build, we know they're gonna do it. And it's not conceding, it's basically giving them something, giving them a really nice trail. So if you give them what they're looking for, you don't have to worry about them.
Sure.
It's conceding a little bit of giving them what they want potentially and bringing them to the table, like what they want.
It's what our residents wanna use. So it's our responsibility to try how to, by proper stewardship, give our residents availability to that trail. To me, it's a lot of education. We're gonna close up those trails. We may have to post signs, restoration and, in progress, et cetera. But we also have to teach them that, I know you have a need for speed or you like the new challenge. You're used to the old trail, but it's only 1,000 acres.
Yeah.
It's-
Yeah,
Well, we know it's mountain biking, it's not, it's
Biking,
not hiking, so
100%
it's.
make the
specifically
new
mountain
trails,
biking.
yeah.
Yeah, so like I said, if help them build features in the proper places, things like that, we can get away from rogue trails.
And get away from the critical habitats and get away from the
Yeah.
productive growth. So
Build really cool stuff away from all that stuff.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a goal. Yeah, so that's where we're at with our recreational trails.
So
And I'll keep obviously up to speed on this, because this is more, the forest management stuff is really not us, per se. This is more us. So,
So there's a discussion I heard, bringing up how to either reclassify the area so it doesn't get classified for, logging.
yeah.
So right
Well-
now, it can be logged.
Correct, so part of the
Yes.
forest management plan, they've identified 29 different stands, they call them. And those stands are what the state perceives as loggable stands. The first one on their list you go to the forest management plan is called stand 10. So stand 10 is essentially, if you went to your map number, we'll call map number 7. Essentially, stand 10 is this area right here. We have our Great Cedar Swamp, essentially this area right through here. Stand 10, about 94 acres or so. And they have identified that as the first stand they're going to do some silviculture, and that's what they call silviculture with. And in their eyes, it's thinning out of some of the bigger trees and possibly selling that lumber. And also doing some canopy treatment and some underneath treatment. But that's what they identified. The first step for them to do that is a bat acoustic monitoring. They've just finished that. And they found 4 different bats in there. All of them are endangered, which triggers only certain times a year that they could do this, which basically is from November to like March, that they could be able to do this. They are coming out with a specific plan of what they're gonna do in stand 10. What trees they're taking, how many trees, how long is it gonna take, what use, how they're gonna take these things. And that will all be done, I believe, by September. And then there'll be public input on that particular plan. And then once the public input is done, then they'll have another round of going through that plan, just like they did the full forest management plan, which is a guiding document. And that every stand will have these individual plans for it. And then the public will have their input on what goes on those particular.
Public, as in, well, Saybrook public?
Anywhere in the state,
Yes.
because it's considered a state forest as well as a town park.
Yep, so they'll have public meetings on it.
Yep.
So yes, there is potential for them to log the area. Whether or not it's gonna happen or not, I've not seen the whole plan, I don't know. You know, it's been talked about for a little bit, but I don't know what it is, so. Once I do know, figure it out.
So I think at the last CMC meeting, a group, concerned citizens organized, and they were discussing about possibility of having the reserve as an old growth forest. And, there's whole definitions of that. So if it is considered an old growth forest, then there may not be any harvesting, I'll say harvesting, not lumber, of stand 10 or any other stand. So the state is listening to this new theory on what qualifications a forest can be made into an old growth forest. And it's not just the age of trees, it's all about the understory and how it's developed. And it's quite a process. So, that may be also what you're hearing.
That's coming from them.
I honestly, at the moment, I can't remember the name of
Lee
this group.
Sloan is kind of in charge of this group, it's the Reserve Protection Alliance, I believe.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. She was a guest here. She spoke very nicely on soil compaction and how it disrupts more than just the area of harvesting a tree. But it's I think it's an interesting angle. And if you go into the CMC online, it's on the Zoom meeting and you can hear what they
Yeah,
were
that's-
discussing.
That's the biggest problem that I have with harvesting, because this is a bid, they send it out for bid for anybody who wants to bid on the work to go out there, and when you take the lowest guy, you get the lowest and cheapest. And they create a lot of erosion problems out there when they're logging, especially in those months of November to March. When it can get a little swampy with frost heaves, and then it goes away and turns to mud. And it creates a lot of drainage patterns that that didn't exist before. Which also hurts the existing trees that they're trying to protect.
So there'll certainly be opportunities for everyone to put their input into this particular thing. But that's not something the town is a part of, it's the state's part of it, work that way. Yeah, but it all has to be approved at the CMC as well.
So in essence, the town has say it.
Yeah, it does, but the plan itself, after the public input, what I've found out on Monday was after public input and it gets signed off by the top dog in the state there, and it will be approved, it has to be approved at a vote at the CMC by the 2 voting members.
Who's the two voting?
Carl and Will Hockhalter.
Will Haukhauser, he's the lead state forester.
Yes, it's a commissioner too.
More layers.
Any other business, programs, facilities, personnel?
No.
I'll go to chairman's report, and I have nothing to report. Director's report.
I'm gonna say none.
And we don't have our liaison from the Conservation Commission. Any comments or thoughts from the commissioners that you want to bring forward? Then we're all done, so I could entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Nancy. In a second, I'm sure. Sure, thank
All right,
you.
go enjoy
All
the.
right.